Hello people, welcome to our tutorial videos. And what we have here is a velocity time graph or a speed time graph. And these questions come in both physics and mathematics ordinary level paper 1. Okay, so you just have to know how to go about questions on speed time graphs. Okay, so now as we can see here, so our graph is starting from 0 up to 30 meters per second as velocity. The time is starting from 0 up to t seconds. So we obviously are going to be asked to find the time here. Okay, so before we say a lot of things, let us proceed to the question. Okay, so the first question is saying find the acceleration during the first 5 seconds. And obviously, the journey of whatever was being described here was accelerating only in the first 5 seconds. The next 10 seconds from 5 to 15, there was no acceleration from this point to this point. There was zero acceleration or uniform velocity. In the last, we don't know the period, in the last part of the journey, there was the deceleration or negative acceleration. Okay, others will call it retardation. So you have to be able to describe the journey. Okay, in the first 5 seconds, there was the uniform acceleration. The next 10 seconds, there was uniform velocity or zero acceleration. The last part of the journey, there was the deceleration, negative acceleration, or retardation. Let us now find the acceleration. According to the question, they want us to find the acceleration of our, was it a car? Find the acceleration. Okay, so find the acceleration during the first 5 seconds. So let us use an empty board and going on pens. Okay, so let us use this font. So acceleration, so this is A. Acceleration is always given by the formula V minus U over the time taken. Okay, where V stands for the final velocity, U stands for the initial velocity, and T stands for the period or the time. Okay, so looking at our diagram, they said acceleration in the first 5 seconds. So time is 5 seconds. The initial velocity, our graph is starting from 0. So 0 is our initial velocity and 30 meters per second is our final velocity. So we are therefore going to say, using pens, so we are therefore going to say final velocity is equal to 30 meters per seconds. Okay, initial velocity is equal to 0 meters per seconds, and the time taken is 5 seconds. So it's just a matter of plugging these values into our formula. So acceleration in the first 5 seconds is therefore going to be final velocity 30 minus initial velocity 0 over the time taken was 5. So acceleration during the first 5 seconds is therefore going to be 30 minus 0 is 30 over time 5. 5 into 30, it is going to give us 6. And the units for acceleration are meters per seconds squared. So that is how you were supposed, or you are supposed to answer The first question, when given the time, our acceleration, we have found it. The acceleration is 6 meters per second squared. That was the acceleration in the first 5 seconds. The next question is saying, if the total distance traveled was 825 meters, find the value of t. So let us go back to our diagram. So if the total distance, because this graph, it being a speed or velocity time graph, it represents the distance. Okay, so now area under this graph represents distance, meaning the area of the individual shapes or the overall shape represents the distance. So for us to find the value of t, we are going to use the fact that the distance covered or the total distance has been given to us. And what shape do we have here? So the shape that we have is a trapezium. Now, anything that looks like this, so let me draw a simple trapezium here. So anything that looks like this is a trapezium. Okay, sometimes it will be an incomplete trapezium like that. Okay, so anything or any shape that looks like this is a trapezium, where the distance from this point to this point, we are going to call it A. The distance from this point to that point will be B. And since it is a trapezium, it will have a height, okay, height h. When it is of this shape, we have A, we have B, and we have h. So either this shape or this shape, it's one and the same thing, and that is a trapezium. Now, since area under a trapezium represents distance on a velocity or speed time graph, it means that for us to find distance of this shape or trapezium, we're going to use area or formula area for trapezium. Now, trapezium area is given by half A plus B multiplied by H, like that, where A and B are these sides, as we have seen there. So this area is used for distance under a velocity time graph or speed time graph. Okay, so speed time graph, area represents distance. Therefore, let us apply this principle on finding question B. So using a different board, they've given us total distance. Total distance given is 825 meters. Okay, and that shape that we have there is a trapezium. Therefore, distance will be given by half A plus B multiplied by H. Okay, so it's just a matter of finding A, B, and H. So let us go back to our diagram. So this is our diagram, which is a trapezium. From 0 to T, that will be B. Okay, then from this point, okay, let me do this so that we are able to see clearly. From this point to this point, that is the A. And then obviously from 0 to 30, that will give us our height. Okay, so A is from this point to this point, which is 5 to 15, which is 10. Our B is going to be from 0 to T, which is just T. And our height is going to be 30. So let us plug in these values or substitute them in our formula. So distance which has been given to us is 825. So the distance that has been given to us is 825. Therefore, we are going to say 825 is equal to half. From our diagram, A is from this point to this point, which is from 5 to 15, which is 10. B is from 0 to T, which is just T. Or how do I find to say from 15 and from 5 to 15 is 10? You just say 15 minus 5, which will give you 10. How do I find that from 0 to T? You say T minus 0, which is T. Okay, so going back, we are therefore going to say our A is 10, our B is T, and our height from the diagram is 30. Okay, once you do that, it's now simple mathematics here. If you want, you can multiply this 2 times 825, and then 10 plus t will multiply 30. Okay, or to make things easy, you say this 2 will divide into 30 there. So we say 2 into 30, we are going to have 15. Then the 15 will multiply whatever is in the bracket. So 825 is equal to 10 plus t. Okay, and then 15 outside here. Others who prefer to actually divide this 15, it can be divided on both sides, but you have to make sure that 15 is divisible into this number here. Okay, so let us find out whether 15 is divisible into 825. Okay, so you actually don't even have to use a calculator because this is paper 1. If it is mathematics, it is paper 1. So what is 825 divided by 15? Can it divide 825 divided by 15? It can divide. Okay, so what I mean is you have to say over 15, even this side over 15. This cancels out. So this side I've just remained with 10 plus t. Then 15 into 82. 15 can go into 75. That is 5 times. So 5. What is 75 minus 82 minus 75? You have 7. So you have 7. So that 15 into 75 will give us 5. So in short, 15 into 825 will give us 55. So we say 55 is equal to, this side we've remained with 10 plus t, and then you just make t the subject by taking 10 to the other side. We are therefore going to have 55 minus 10 is equal to t. So 55 minus 10 is going to give us t, is going to give us 45 seconds. That is the time at t, which automatically is the total time that was taken. Okay, so that is simple and straightforward. Proceeding to the next question. The next question is saying, find the average speed for the whole journey. Average speed. So here, time at t is, that's right, the time at t is 45 seconds. And then they are saying, find the average speed for the whole journey. Average speed is given by the formula. Average speed is given by the formula total distance over total time. total time. Total distance over total time. Total distance over total time. M. Okay, so total distance over total time is the one which gives the average speed. Okay, so let us find the total time. The total time is here at t, which is 45 seconds. And then the total distance has been given to us in our question. They're saying if the total distance traveled was 825 and the total time we found it to be 45 seconds, therefore average speed is therefore going to be average speed is equal to total time and total distance, which is 825, over the total time, which is 45. And the answer is going to be, if you divide uh, 45 into 825. So let's say 45 into, okay, the easiest maybe is to find a number that can go into this without leaving a remainder, the easiest number, and that will be 15. 15 into this we said is 55 over 15 into 45, that is 3. Okay, 3 into 55, that will give us 3 into 5, that is 1, remainder 2. 3 into 25, that is 8. Okay, let us erase. That is 8. That is 8. Remainder 1 over 3 meters per seconds. So that is the average speed for the whole journey. Okay, so that is simple and straightforward. Watch this video as many times as you can for you to understand how we are solving or how we've been doing this. Thank you very much and stay blessed.